Have you ever felt a quiet unease inside you? A soft pause that made no sense at first glance? This is the story of Meera, who almost stepped into the wrong future when God whispered for her to wait. Meera had always been diligent, moving through life with careful steps shaped by years of uncertainty. She longed for stability, something she could hold without fear of losing it in the next difficult season. A job offer had arrived at a time when her worries about the future felt painfully heavy each night. It promised security, steady income, and the feeling that she was no longer falling behind everyone else. Yet beneath the relief was a faint discomfort, a tremor of doubt she tried to ignore for days. Each time she thought of signing the contract, her chest tightened with an unspoken hesitation. She told herself it was fear, nothing more, just the familiar anxiety of choosing the next direction. But the unease lingered like a gentle shadow, soft yet impossible to fully dismiss. Meera had prayed for guidance for months, asking God to open the right door at the right moment. She thought this offer was the answer, a sign that her season of waiting had finally come to an end. Still, something felt misaligned, as if she was being nudged to step back instead of rushing forward. On the evening before she planned to accept, she sat quietly by her small window, watching city lights. The world outside moved fast, but her spirit felt slow, almost suspended between desire and caution. She rested her hands on her lap, breathing deeply as the tension inside rose with each passing thought. In that still moment, she lowered her head in a soft prayer, asking God why her heart felt unsettled. She asked for clarity, for peace, for a sign that she would not regret choosing too quickly. Her prayer was simple, whispered from a place of vulnerability and quiet longing for the right guidance. Afterward, she felt no dramatic revelation, only a deeper sense that she should wait just a bit longer. The next morning, she hesitated over the reply she had drafted, feeling the same gentle tug in her spirit. She honored the feeling and chose not to send it, telling herself she would revisit the decision tomorrow. That tomorrow became another tomorrow, each day carrying the same soft whisper to pause. Her friends encouraged her to accept, reminding her that opportunities rarely waited for anyone. But something holy lived in the hesitation, something tender and almost protective in its quiet presence. Days passed with no new developments, and Meera wondered if she was simply delaying out of fear. She questioned her intuition, unsure if the feeling came from wisdom or worry disguised as caution. Yet deep inside, there was a small peace whenever she chose not to move forward too quickly. One afternoon, she received an unexpected email from a company she admired for years. They had remembered an old application, one she had forgotten entirely after months of silence. The message was gentle, inviting her to interview for a role that aligned beautifully with her passions. She read the words twice, heart fluttering with a mixture of disbelief and quiet recognition. The timing felt too precise to dismiss as coincidence, arriving exactly after she chose not to rush. During the interview, she felt an ease she had not felt with the first offer, a sense of belonging. Every answer flowed naturally, as if the role had been shaped for her long before she arrived. A few days later, she received the second offer, one that matched her heart instead of just her fears. It offered growth, creativity, and a sense of purpose she had longed for but never voiced aloud. As she held the new contract, she realized why the earlier unease had pressed so firmly in her spirit. God had not been withholding a blessing, but protecting her from stepping into a future not meant for her. She remembered the quiet prayer by the window, the soft uncertainty that asked her to pause. In that memory, she felt gratitude rise, gentle and warm, for the way God speaks through stillness. She saw how the delay was never meant to frustrate her, but to redirect her toward something better. The first offer had offered safety, but the second offer gave her calling, depth, and genuine alignment. Meera accepted the new role with peaceful confidence, her heart steady and deeply assured. The moment she signed, she felt the quiet confirmation she had prayed for, subtle yet unmistakable. She understood that sometimes God guides by stirring discomfort rather than by opening obvious paths. The unease she felt was not fear, but a gentle whisper encouraging her to wait for something greater. She learned that patience is often the bridge between our prayer and the blessing shaped for us. Meera stepped into her new season with trust, grateful for the nudge that kept her from settling too soon. And she carried the lesson softly within her, knowing God guides most clearly when she listens to His quiet. Thank you for spending these few moments with us. May you begin to notice the beauty that unfolds when God's timing becomes unforgettable stories.